Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning or evening to our lecturer. My name is Muhammad Syahrim bin Suhaimi and my team Munawarah binti Makzee, Najmul bin Hisamuddin and Nur Farah Nazira binti Cik Muhammad Saidi. Today, my team and I will present to you about our title, which is How the Plastic Garbage Bag is Made. Let's we look at the first slide, which is Introduction. Let's go.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Nur Farah Nazira binti Cik Muhammad Saidi. So, a plastic garbage bag is a disposable bag that used to contain a solid waste. This plastic garbage bag is very convenient and a sanitary way of handling garbage and also widely used. These plastic garbage bags are fairly lightweight and are particularly useful for messy or wet rubbish, as is commonly the case with food waste, and also useful for wrapping up garbage to minimize odor. Most of the bags today are made of plastic that comes in black, white, blue or green color.
Okay, this slide is about manufacturing process and I will show you about the step 1 and step 2. For the step 1, which is extraction of crude oil and natural gas. Okay, first we need to extract a raw material, which is polyethylene that can get from the refined oil or gas. And the way we do this with drilling well to reach the hydrocarbon. This process is known as fracking. We inject mixture of water and chemical into rock formation to release oil and gas, just like at the picture at the left side. After that, for raw oil and gas was extracted, it is transported through pipe to refinery. The petroleum separated into different densities to allow the right oil to be signed out for plastic production. After that, the oil is being superheated and pressurized. The isolated the pure polyethylene chain and combined to form resin pellet of pure plastic. The resin pellet is just like what we look at the picture at the left side. Okay, and this is the end of the step 1. And as you can see at the big picture below, this is the example of extraction of crude oil and natural gas machine. For this machine is commonly used on the land, and what we have in Malaysia like at the Terengganu is what is always used when we want to get the oil or natural gas at the ocean. For the step 2, which is plastic film extrusion, the raw plastic pellet that we get before are superheated again and pressurized. This process will form a molten liquid, which is air then pumped into the from below. After that, the process turn the molten plastic into balloon like plastic film. The plastic bubble expand upward. It cool. The plastic bubble contact with many roller that stretch and convert to the plastic into thin film sheet, just like the picture, the small picture below. And the left side is the plastic bubble expand. All right, and if you know, after we're done with this process, it will become very long. So several hundred meters of sheet rolled onto two separate cylinder, and the condensed roll of plastic move off to the printing department, which is the step 3. Okay, let's we go with Tajmul for the step 3 and step 4.
Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Najmul bin Hisamuddin. Today I will continue what my groupmate Shahwin presented, which is I will go through the step 3 and step 4. So now we're looking into step 3. Most single-use plastic bags consist almost entirely of pure polyethylene molecules. However, the plastic bags you get at most shopping malls and supermarkets usually have some sort of color print on them. So this is where we print any design onto the plastic bags. The process of printing on super sensitive or super light material such as plastic bag is called flexographic process. Color printing on plastic can be very toxic, depends on the dyes that you're using on the plastic. So you might be wondering, what is a flexographic process? Flexographic is a form of printing process which utilizes a flexible relief plate. It is essentially a modern version of letterpress, evolved with speed rotary functionality, which can be used for printing on almost any type of substrate, such as plastic, metallic film, cellophane, and paper. So in this printing, they might use a toxic ingredient. So when we're using toxic ingredient, it will cause health risks, such as the pose health risks to marine animals when the plastic bag lands up in the ocean, which they eventually do. Like what humans do nowadays, we throw the plastic bag in the ocean. So now I will show you the video on the process of printing on the plastic bags.
A temperature varying between 356 and 465 degrees. This produces a film of polyethylene in the form of a tube. It is several hundred feet long, has a minimum thickness of 2/10,000ths of an inch, and a circumference of 20 inches. The plastic tube gradually cools down.
So let's look onto the step 4. This is where the completion of plastic bag. When we have done step 1, step 2, and step 3, all combined together, and we will have the completing of manufacturing process for plastic bag. Finally, the printing sheets are pressed together at the edges, effectively sealing the bag. The sealed bag can then be cut to desired sizes depending on the commercial intent for the plastic bags. At this stage in the process, manufacturer can implement custom design on the bag. For example, they can custom a holder for the plastic bag. There are various types of holder, which is you can attach the holder, or the holder comes with the plastic bag. For example, they can design a holder for the plastic bag. When we implement holder in the in the design of plastic bag, usually they are used in when you want to put fruit, vegetable in the section of grocery store. Thank you, and that's all.
Okay, so now I will tell about 3 possible defects that may occur during the fabrication of this plastic garbage. The first one is blown film process. The bubble is pulled continually upwards from the die, and a cooling ring blows air into the film. So, these defects may cause of the hot melt between the die and the frost line, and where the die lip is out of adjustment. So the solution is to check the die gap and also re-gap. The second one is extrusion process, which it is caused by the surface cracking due to the high temperature extrusion. And this situation can be avoided by using the appropriate temperature, which is not too high or too low. Lastly, the defects is when cutting process. The plastic are cut into the required size with a hot knife, which seals both sides, and it may cause of inputting wrong cutting parameters. So the solution is to reduce the cutting speed and fit ratio so that the cutting will become neat.
Hi, my name is Munawwarah binti Mahzir, and I'm going to present about the advantage and disadvantages of the process in making a plastic garbage bag. First is about extraction process. The advantages is oil has high energy density. We can use a small amount of natural gas to generate an enormous amount of energy that is necessary for running of machines. Next, oil is easily available. Oil is readily available in almost all parts of the world. We can readily access it for use, and this has been made possible by the efficient transport systems that are available in almost all places. For example, the transport oil include ships, tanker, and pipelines. Next, oil is a constant power source, which is oil is such a source as it has been proven to be always reliable in producing energy at all times of the day. The next one is the disadvantage, which is emission of greenhouse gases. This has been the biggest threat to using oil energy after combustion. Oil release gases such as carbon dioxide and other greenhouse emissions. These gases are very harmful. And the last one is water pollution. For the blown film extrusion, it required a lower melting temperature, so it can reduce the cost of manufacturing. It also more balanced in mechanical properties because it passes through various machines. For the disadvantages, it's very difficult to control the thickness as the method is quite complicated and the cooling process is inefficient. For printing process, the advantages is it can produce colorful plastic, but the dyes can be toxic and harmful.
Hi and welcome back. This is the last part of the video, which is conclusion. So now let's jump into the conclusion. Much of this plastic ends up as a trash. They are not recycled and constitute about 40% of plastic waste. They end up damaging natural habitats, endangering wildlife and marine life, and also polluting the communities around the world. A great way to overcome this problem is to reduce the amount of single use of plastic. Instead, for reusable alternatives in day-to-day lives, each person can make a huge impact in helping decreasing plastic waste. So the main point in this conclusion is we need to reduce the use of plastic. We can use plastic, but we can use the plastic which can be recycled, because some of the plastic is a thermoset plastic, which the plastic contains polymer that cross-link to form an irreversible chemical bond. That's all from me, and thank you.